Welcome to Blending the Family, the podcast. Topics can range from what is good wine on a first date, parenting tips, and not being afraid to ask for help. Here's your host, whose math tutor once said he should probably join the circus, Tommy Maloney.
Welcome to another edition of the podcast known as Blending the Family. I am your host, your executive producer. I am the guy who books the guest. My name's Tommy Maloney. How the heck are you? You having a good day? If this is your first time coming by, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Please leave a rating and review however you get this podcast. I am coming to you from beautiful San Diego, California. If you are not familiar, I do run another podcast called the Tommy Maloney Podcast. You can find that on Anchor FM, and you'll hear why. Oh crap! And there goes the AC's going on. Hold on. Gotta turn it off. Turn it off. Interfering with the sound. And off. All right. Hopefully this will turn off. Hopefully. Bueller. There we go. So yeah, the Tommy Maloney podcast, listen to that. There are not a lot of episodes. It's still a fresh podcast, but it explains to you about what I call my dreaded day job. And yeah, how the heck are you? It's been a while. I know it's been a while, but we're going to have a short podcast here. And something that's been on my mind for a while, especially around blended families and again, if this is your first time, we don't use the word we. I don't use the word step. We use we. One more time. I used the word bonus instead. And I really feel that it's rough being a bonus parent. Now, I'm a bonus parent. My wife is a bonus parent. So I get to see it from a couple different sides. And so I've been talking about, oh my gosh. Let's try this again. I've wanted to talk about, as a bonus parent, do you feel invisible? I feel invisible. I really do. I feel that, and it's, how do I explain it? I'm going to try to explain it. It's that, for example, here's an example. My bonus daughter, Becca, had a volleyball game a while back. I am struggling. It's been a long day. Today's been a travel day, so long day. Anyway, Becca had a volleyball game. My wife Ann was out of town. She couldn't make the game, but I was there representing. That's me, pounding my chest, representing. And after the game was over, her dad was there. Her bonus mom was there. And I don't know, I feel really weird about waiting for Becca and saying hi. And so I did what I'm really good at, and I left. I just left. And so I started thinking more and more about this, and that is, how do you handle those situations? How do you handle it? I know with my wife, she's the opposite. She's, after our son, Connor, is done with, maybe a baseball game or a hockey game, she's there. She wants to know how he's doing. She wants to talk to him, things like that. I'm the total opposite. Once the game's over, I don't want to interfere with the natural parent, I guess, the blood parent. I just want to just leave, and then later on I'll text and say, hey, you had a good game. So yeah, that's been on my mind for a while. And I'm probably handling it wrong. I'm probably being very immature when it comes to this. But do you do what? I mean, again, what do you do? When you go to your bonus kids games, and if it's those times where you go by yourself, how do you handle it? I don't know how to handle it, and that's where my struggle has been of late. And now, with Becca being a senior, well, she has basketball coming up. I was going to say, well, she has basketball, so there's still going to be opportunities to freak out. I guess freak out. I don't know. That's really it. That's all I wanted to really talk about. Not much to report. That's about it. And would love to hear your feedback on how do you handle those events where either you're the only parent there, or afterward do you just kind of back? See, that's what I do. I just back away. I don't get engaged. I don't engage much when it comes to events because I just don't feel right. I feel out of place. But then again, if you've ever listened to this podcast before, I talk a lot. I'm an introvert, and so crowds throw me off for a bit. So that's it. That's all I want to say. I told you it was going to be short to hopefully to the point. Again, would love to hear from you. Email me, tommy@blendingthefamily.com. That's tommy@blendingthefamily.com. Please leave a rating and review. It's always awesome when I get to read those. And what the heck? How's this? First three people to email me, tommy@blendingthefamily.com. I'll send you my first book, 25. Well, here, I'll give you the choice. You can either have the first book, 25 Tips for Divorced Dads, or the kids' coloring book, 10 Tips on How to Survive Your Parents' Divorce. So email me. Let me know how you handle this situation. And the first three will get their choice of either 25 Tips for Divorced Dads or 10 Tips on How to Survive Your Parents' Divorce. And I started thinking about how I always end the podcast with "Your success is my success" from Terry Crews. I started thinking more and more about this, going, as a parent, it's true. Your kid's success will become your success. So it is true what Terry Crews says. There you go. So again, please subscribe to this podcast. Check out the other podcasts, the Tommy Maloney podcast on Anchor FM. And email me, tommy@blendingthefamily.com. That's tommy@blendingthefamily.com. First three emailers to let me know how they handle these situations will get an autographed copy of either 25 Tips for Divorced Dads, or I can have the kids autograph the 10 Tips on How to Survive Your Parents' Divorce. If you're not familiar with those books, check them out at the website, blendingthefamily.com. That's blendingthefamily.com. That's it. We're good. Have a good evening. Well, it's evening when I'm recording this here in San Diego, but for you, it could be morning, it could be on your commute. There you go. Have a great day, evening, morning. Peace out.
Thank you for listening to Blending the Family, the podcast. We hope the little kid kicking your seat behind you while flying across the country was less painful than listening to Tommy. Wait, please leave a rating and review, however you get this podcast, whether it's through the mail or from your neighbor or listening in under the couch. I don't know. You tell me.